If you've got dark spots or hyperpigmentation, then it's time for some evidence-based tips to help get rid of those symptoms. I'm going to teach you how to get rid of dark spots and about hyperpigmentation treatment, so what are we waiting for? Let's go. So let's dive straight into tip number one. Let's talk about the golden rule for hyperpigmentation, sunscreen. This is the most common mistake I see patients making who are trying to treat their hyperpigmentation by not using a sunscreen daily. So even if you're trying other treatments without consistent sun protection, you're basically not preventing new dark spots or new hyperpigmentation, okay? Because the whole point is this sun protection is going to stop that from happening in the first place. In terms of which sunscreen I recommend, very simple, SPF of 30 plus and a UVA 5-star rating. That's the most important thing. And don't just go for any old sunscreen. If you're watching this video in the United States, the UK or Canada, I will leave a link in the description below to a sunscreen that I personally use myself and I would highly recommend. It's very light, very easy to apply, and best of all, it doesn't leave your eyes stinging like traditional sunscreens can do. And moving on to tip number two, let's talk retinoids. If you're an avid viewer of my channel, you will know that I love retinoids. These superheroes basically speed up the turnover of skin cells. This means we're going to be regenerating them skin cells with more evenly pigmented skin cells, which are basically going to help with the appearance. And if you are using a retinoid for acne or pimples, do not just use any old retinoid. If you're watching this video in the US, I will leave a link to one in the description below, which I use personally myself, and is FDA approved for the treatment of acne, which means you can purchase it over the counter. Now let me tell you about the second way that retinoids help. They also inhibit an enzyme called tyrosinase. Tyrosinase is an enzyme that's responsible for the synthesis of melanin, okay? So this dual action is both going to help prevent us from getting hyperpigmentation and help with existing hyperpigmentation and dark spots. Wonderful. Diving straight onto tip number three, azelaic acid. This powerhouse of an ingredient basically helps stop that tyrosinase enzyme that we just spoke about earlier. It also helps improve skin cell turnaround, which is all going to help with that hyperpigmentation and the dark circles. Now, if you're a medical or mental health provider, I want to tell you about Freed AI, because this little thing has literally changed my life by writing my medical notes, freeing up my time to focus more on patients and less on those medical notes. Freed is HIPAA compliant. It's AI that basically listens to your consultation, transcribes, summarizes, and writes medically relevant notes for you. And thousands of clinicians are already using it. And best of all, they have a free trial, so test it out, fall in love with it, then use my code ATP50 for $50 off. I'll leave a link to Freed in the description below. Freed your time today. Moving straight on to tip number four, here's a truth bomb. If you have acne, treating the acne is essential to helping us get rid of hyperpigmentation. So I do have quite a few videos on what to do with acne, different treatment options, so definitely do check it out on my channel. Also, another good thing to know is the azelaic acid and the retinoids will also help with the acne, so it's like killing two birds with one stone.